Okay, and we are live. Just trying to correct my little tripod here. Doesn't want to cooperate. Okay. So I've already started melting down my candy melts. I'm going with a really nice light blue. Today we're making shark bark, so of course we're going with an ocean and shark theme. Try mixing all that dark blue. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I think I'm gonna pop it in there for another 15 seconds or so. Doesn't need much more time, I think. And while it's in there, we can prep our pan. Okay, so we have a parchment paper lined sheet here. This is a quarter size sheet pan, which I believe it's a 9 by 13, but I would need to measure to double check. I'm pretty sure that's about the dimensions of this. And then I have some Biscoff cookies, the Lotus Biscoff cookies. We're gonna line our whole pan with these. And of course, as always, my hands are nice and clean. Okay, so once we have our layer of cookies down, then we're going to grab our candy melts. And I'm also going to grab my little offset spatula. There you are. And when it comes to bark, I don't often measure how much of the candy melts I'm using. I always just kind of, can kind of eyeball it to where it should be the correct amount. If we need some more, of course, I have some more that we can whip up really quick. But this looks pretty good. A little bit on the thick side. Just a smidge. I think I might add just a tiniest bit of vegetable oil. So with this, it's just to help thin it out just a smidge, and we're adding just the tiniest bit. We can always add more if we need to. Just that. We don't really need much to start. And then we're just mixing that in. Okay, I like that a little bit better. I don't want to thin it out too much, or else it's going to take forever to set and it's going to melt really easily in your hands. It's just to make it a little bit easier to drizzle over our cookies and all that kind of stuff. Let me see, I had another cup of white melts here. There you are. Okay, I'm popping some other white melts in the microwave really quick. But while those are melting, we're going to start, let me just try to center this a bit. While those are melting, we're going to pour these blue melts over the top. Like I so we might need some more, but we'll see. We're also going to use some of the white melts to kind of add a little bit more dimension to what is our water for this. Okay, we're gonna use our offset spatula, of course, to spread that out. But let me check on those white melts really quick, so I want to add those while everything's still warm. I think they might need, the middle's kind of melty, but the outside's still not. So we're gonna pop that in for a little bit more time here. Just trying to chop up that piece I didn't want to melt. Okay, so while we're melting those, we're spreading out our blue melts. Just give it a nice base. Okay. Just like I said, a nice little base here. And then we can add our stuff on top. Let me grab those melts and check on them. Just a couple little pieces, but sometimes the heat when you're mixing it through will help melt them. It's looking pretty good. It is a smidge thick, so I'm just going to add the teeniest bit of vegetable oil to this. Might be a bit much, but we'll see. Okay, added a little bit more than I usually would. It's a bit on the thin side. It'll still set though, because we're going to use the refrigerator. So, and this is more of just an accent. So we're just going to kind of drizzle the white over if it wants to come off the spoon. Okay, we're not using too much of this. Okay, and then we're going to use our offset spatula and we're going to blend. I'm grabbing a little bit more of this blue I had in the bowl. Okay, then we're going to kind of give a little swirl here. Again, this is like our water. We're gonna put our little shrimp keys on top. Swirl that white a little bit. Kind of like our waves. Okay, and if we want to flatten it out a little bit, we can kind of give it a little tap, tap, tap on the bottom, and you see those little lines kind of go away. Okay, and now before this sets, we want to work quickly. We have our sharks, and this is why I made it kind of like a light blue, because the sharks are really dark. These are actually some blue raspberry sharks I found on Amazon. And what else we got? We're going to add some little white nonpareils to kind of look like the little bubbles that kind of come up from the water. And then I also have these, I'm not sure if we're going to use these, but white sugar pearls that will look like kind of bigger bubbles. Those are kind of just in case we want a little bit more dimension, if you will. But of course our focus first is getting some of these sprinkles on here. Just be pretty generous with these. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. If we want to add some more, we can add some more in a sec, but we're going to start adding our little sharkies here. Oh, and I have not checked the chat yet. Okay, we're good. We're caught up on the chat. Okay, so we're adding our little sharks just all around. Can kind of put them on a side. You want to press them in a little bit more, kind of squish them down. You can do that too. You can try and curve them. Some of these are already automatically curved, but if they're not, you can try and put a little curve in there too. Let's go like this. I'm just kind of putting them in a variety of positions. I'll start to put one over here in the corner. Another one right here. I got two more. I'll put them on here too. Let's bring you a little more over here, dude. And one more can go over here. Like that. Okay. And then I think I'm going to add a few of those sugar pearls, but not too many, not as many as the non-pearls, because these are bigger. And we don't need as many of those ones. And I might have gone a little bit light on the water, or the color for like the, you know, the candy melt water, if you will. But I really wanted the sharks to be able to pop. I didn't want to have them blend in too much. Hi, how are you? Thanks so much for joining. We're actually almost done for today, but the replay will be available. Okay, what do you guys think? Is there any more spots that need some sprinkles? I think I'm done with the sugar sprinkles. Oops, oops. That's the only negative side is that the sprinkles like to bounce everywhere when they're the little pearls or non-pearls. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more non-pearls, but I think I saw a message pop up in the chat. Let me check that really quick. Good, and you? Oh, I'm doing good. Thank you so much for asking. It is a tad hot today, so I'm gonna go and just be in my office editing today with the fan in front of my face. There's no baking going on today for sure, because it's like, I think it's gonna be like 108 today here, so yeah. How about you? How's the weather where you are right now? I hope everybody's staying safe, because these heat waves are just crazy. Okay, just a few more. To fill it in. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. What do you guys think? Do you like our shark bark? Saw a message pop up. Hot, yes. I always say that the days where I'm not either in the pool or have a fan in front of my face, I always dream of fall. I always dream of like that crisp fall weather, not just because it's obviously like Halloween and, you know, all the fall fun baking stuff they get to do, but specifically like the chilly, like crisp weather. I just love it. Okay, but this is our shark bark. We are done with putting it together. We just have to let this set. I usually pop this in the fridge for probably at least, I would say 10 minutes, but sometimes I'll keep it in there closer to maybe even a half an hour, just to make sure it's completely set, and then we can break it apart. And I'll film that later, and I can do like a quick shorts video showing off how to, you know, just break it apart and maybe even put it into like a little goodie bag for somebody that you want to give it to. But that's our quick shark bark. Any questions or any last things? It's a very quick live today, I know. Like I said, it's hot. I don't want to be in the kitchen for a super long time today. So I figured something quick, easy, and no bake would be perfect for how hot it is basically everywhere right now. So let me see if there's any last things in the chat. Last chance to ask any questions or anything like that. In the meantime, I do have of course, shorts videos every day. And also the next tutorial video is going up tomorrow. That's one of the things I'm working on today. And it is a no-bake treat. And I genuinely have never had so many of my taste testers unanimously go, this is insanely good, and get as excited as they did about it. So I'm very excited to share that with you. And of course, I don't think I mentioned it yet, it is a no-bake treat because it is way too hot to bake, and so it's a perfect thing to not have to heat up your house but have something very tasty. And besides that, next week we'll have, of course, another live, so make sure to keep an eye out for that. I'm not sure what we're doing yet, so if you want to pop in the comments any kind of ideas that you might have, feel free to do so. Besides that, we're checking the chat one more time. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for joining today. Like I said, I'll post later about how this looks when it's all set and, you know, I break it apart and everything. In the meantime, I hope you guys have an awesome day, a fabulous weekend, and I will see you very soon. Bye.